What is the most childish reason you cut off a man? He has an IG highlight named Face Card. He told me he doesn't chase women. I told him, okay, go find your man. He called me bougie for putting on lotion. He used this emoji in every He told me he's a rapper at 41. Ain't no way. Spelled audacity is order city. Come pick me up. Blocked. Woke up one morning and looked at him and said, knock. He called me big money because I paid for it. He asked me, how's my day so far? At 8 a.m. If their last name is ugly or weird, I do not want that for my futures. He bought a ring light for TikTok. Complaining about how much he spent on dates I didn't even ask for. Okay. His friend had a turtleneck. He was so excited to talk about it. He was walking sneaky. Please explain. No future plans. Said he'll go wherever life blows.
Here's where I find the problem with a lot of women, right? They wait till they hit that proverbial wall before they start having the realizations. I always tell people, and I tell everybody who follows me, hey, if you in high school right now and you focused on your studies or whatever else and all them chicks is dissing you, give it 5-10 years. They spin back around. But when they spin back around, they got kids, they fell off, they done dated all the dudes who they thought was gonna be the guys, but they realized them guys was a shit. So now they actually gonna come back to you. But this is where you also have to, life ain't fair. You gotta punish them chicks a little bit too. Yeah. You get what I mean?
So it's like a bit like, you're on like this revenge flex then.
You are not lying to men enough.
Oh, really?
Controversial? I don't think so, okay? You need to lie to men. The truth needs to be earned.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a controversial opinion. I would actually call that a wrong opinion, but I'm sure there's more to this.
And this is a question that I get a lot. A lot of you guys are like, well, what happens when we seriously start dating? Have they earned the truth? Because until that point, you are broke, your job is you have nothing, live with your parents, make up and lie, okay?
Because that's the best way to start an actual relationship, is with lies. Why would they ever trust you again?
Okay, because until that point, I promise you, they're lying to you 10 times more.
Even if that was the case, how exactly do two wrongs make a right? Oh, that's right, they never do. But it's just my opinion that if either individual starts off the relationship with lies, they're actually not ready to be in any sort of relationship. Because relationships need trust. And if you start out with lies, there can never be trust.
My relationship standards are that difficult to understand. Like, I'm a woman, so I want to be taken care of, obviously. But also, you're going to have to understand that I'm the boss. But if I'm the boss and you're still taking care of me, it's like, do you have a spine? But then if you try to grow a spine and stand up to me, who do you think you're talking to?
So she's being honest. She's telling you she's impossible to please. She's admitting that no matter what you do with some of these modern women, you fail, right? Even just the first line, I want to be taken care of, but I also want to be the boss. Well, guess what? The boss doesn't get taken care of. It doesn't work like that, right? If you're the boss, you do the taking care of someone else.
If a woman is interested in you, she will not keep doing this one thing. She is not going to disappear all day. She just won't. Because a woman who is interested in you will always make herself present. She will text you. She will ask you how you are. And she will include you even if she's busy. If she's absent all day and only appears when she needs something, that shows you exactly where you stand. Many men still get confused, making excuses that she's tired or she's just busy from work. No, the truth is very simple here. People make time for what really matters. That's it. If you're always the one initiating, proposing, keeping it going, you need to stop convincing yourself that that's just the way she is, because it's not. A lack of time is lack of intention. When a woman wants to be in your life, you will feel it. And when she doesn't, it's just you who hasn't realized it yet.
Women say they want a traditional man, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. These feminist women want a man who validates them, not a man who corrects them and holds them to a higher standard. The truth is, most women these days aren't even qualified for the man they say they want. They want a man to provide, protect, and sacrifice, but they don't want to reciprocate in a relationship. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to stay home and raise children. They put their career over having a family. They're not traditional women, but they still expect a man to do all the traditional things.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough. It's rough out there, guys. They starting businesses. They're marrying dummies.
Really?
Yes.
Is that how they got
It's almost all of it is divorce.
Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point. It was a blood testing company, and they falsified all sorts of data, and they lied to investors and all sorts of shit. This lady, she used to dress like Steve Jobs. She wore a black turtleneck and everything, and
I don't want to say this but I am. There's not really any like men these days. Like, you know what, like masculine men. When I'm talking about masculine, I don't mean like bulk dudes, like, like dumb right now. I'm talking about like masculine men. Like, where are those guys? You know, like someone like my brother and my dad. They're
what makes a masculine? Yeah, what do you want in a masculine man? Like change a tire type?
It has nothing to do with looks. It's just a guy who can just like support you and like no jealousy, just like, you know, it's not easy dating me, you know, because, you know, like I said, I'm kind of like an alpha, you know, so I got to meet someone who's more alpha than me.
So you want more alpha, you don't want a beta.
No,
because a lot of the alpha homegirls that I have a little bit more of a beta boyfriend situation.
Because I have dated someone that was very, very a yes man, and it was very sweet, but then it gets boring.
You just don't know what they want. She couldn't even answer the question. He says, what is a masculine? What do you consider a masculine man to be? And she couldn't even tell you. Somebody who supports you and is not jealous is a masculine man? That's your answer? Somebody's more alpha than you?
I don't want somebody that's going to come around and say, you got your half of the rent this month. No, I don't.
So, well, you were looking for a traditional man, but are you a traditional woman?
Yes.
In what sense?
I feel like
what is traditional woman to you?
Exactly. And see, everybody's definition for words
men got one
varies.
line. Men, we're all pretty much the same. We know exactly what traditional is.
I don't think all men are the same.
Oh, majority of us are.
It depends if they want to do it or not.
I don't think
if
so.
Traditional man.
I don't think so, because some people think courting is tricking. So
no.
I don't think.
No. There's courting and there's tricking. They're vastly different. Tricking is a whole thing of its own. Courting is someone that's reciprocating. If I'm courting a woman and I continue courting, she's reciprocating. But give me
transaction.
It's very transactional. There's no type of emotion involved. It's just transactional 100%. Courting is like you feeling me, I'm feeling you. We try to take it somewhere. We try to have kids, family, married. That's the
chat. Do you all agree that is the true definition? I'd love to see this clip.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue: when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, "Don't wear that tonight," and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, "I'm not okay with your attitude," and is called manipulative, when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, "I don't tolerate disrespect," and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows, and what you attack disappears.
I know modern women think this type of stuff is funny, but they be doing this type of stuff. Like, I think there was one guy that was saying, well, I don't really have any future plans. I'm going to go wherever life takes me. Women be doing that on a daily basis. Like, oh, I'm just vibing. They be meeting men men that they know are not good for them, and we're just vibing. He was such a vibe. That's essentially what you're doing. You're going where life takes you. Oh, his friend had a turtleneck on. Stupid stuff. So y'all are cutting out men. Oh, he's got a turtleneck on, that suspect, this, and this. And then you run right into a chat. Some of these modern women that are cutting men off for kind of stuff some of this stuff is legit, but then some of the stuff is silly. And y'all are cutting men off for silly stuff and kikiing about it, and then going back and becoming a baby mama. So I'm not sure, what's funny.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women like to throw rocks and then hide their hand whenever the argument starts. You will say some slick to him, trigger him, push his buttons, and then be mad whenever he responds to you. Now you want to be innocent, like, what did I do? I don't understand why you're responding like this. You shouldn't have yelled at me. And now his response is going to become the problem instead of the actual that you just said. But let me explain something to you, baby. That's emotional manipulation. You cannot play victim in a circumstance that you just created. You cannot be mad at that man for responding to that you just said that was disrespectful to him. Do not sit around and throw rocks and then not be woman enough to stand on that you said whenever it comes back to you. Because let me tell you something. Accountability looks good on everybody, baby, including you.
You are taking women and you're kind of flipping them and brainwashing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I wanted to heal so that I did not put that on my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, my oldest daughter's engaged. They're getting married this year. What I'm doing now is kind of shepherding her and her fiance. So we go to church periodically, hang out with them, but I'm always trying to support them in their relationship. And I'm telling them, I'm the one that's divorced, but I want her to be successful. I don't know what this is when you have done something in your life that didn't work, that you don't want it to work for your kids.
Do you guys sometimes wonder, where are the men? Where are the strong men? Where are those men that are really just strong?
Yeah.
Where are the strong men of God? Where are you? I feel for women right now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this, we've got to be in the end times.
No, that's what it is.
That's what it is, right?
Yes.
Because I'm looking around and I'm like, this can't be, right?
There really are great men out there.
There's such good men.
I know there is.
Yeah, there's great
I've
men.
met them. We've met them. We know them.
We do.
Hiding. It's so funny. And are there any girls like me? I'm such a hopeless romantic. There's really nothing that can happen that gets me to give up on love.
No.
I love love.
Do not get married. Do not get married. It's not worth it today. There's no reason for marriage anymore. Women will make you or women will break you. Thanks to Eve, we didn't conceive even one child in the Garden of Eden. Not even one child. Why? Because she ate from the forbidden fruit and she made Adam eat from the forbidden fruit. And the second that God saw them, he asked Adam, why did you listen to your woman? Listen to your woman, your life will be destroyed. A leader is a man, not a woman. And if she wants to lead, great, go be a lesbian.
Men melt when a woman speaks softly. But a lot of women don't want to hear that because they think being sweet makes them look weak. But that's a huge mistake because a woman's greatest power is her softness. Think about it. If he wanted another alpha energy in his house, he would have married another man. So if you ever have caught yourself thinking, he never does anything that I ask him to, it's probably because you talk to him like you're another guy challenging him. Try using your feminine, soft, lighter tone of voice more often and just watch how differently he treats you. I've never heard a no from my husband when I speak to him gently. He's even told me that he can't resist when I ask that way. If it feels hard to switch into that sweet version of you, it's because you've permanently turned on that masculine energy without even noticing. And that puts your relationship at risk. That's why I created my free quiz to help you find out which energy you're in most of the time, masculine or feminine, and how to fix it before your relationship crumbles. Comment quiz and I'll send it to you.
Why do women have to prove their value, but men just have to show up?
I think it's the opposite. I think men have to prove their value and a woman just has to show up.
It depends on who you asking.
No, I think if you're pretty, You could get access to the parties, to the invite only, to the private yachts, to the billionaires club, just because they want to have you in the room. Now, we know what they want you in the room for, but if you're smart, you don't go for it. You work the room so that they invite you directly after. Whereas men got to earn the money, have the job, get the accolades, do the achievement in order to even almost have access to some of the things that she gets. So I actually feel like beautiful women get much more opportunities than men do. What y'all think?
It just depends on who you're asking.
Personally, I don't know the answer. I just feel like for me personally, I think that as a woman, I get more opportunities than a man because I think that men want me to be in the space, but they don't expect me to come with the character or the work ethic that I come with. And that's what keeps me in the room. What I look like might get me to the room, maybe if I know somebody, but what I'm built by or built of is what keeps me in the room.
What I also tell black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent, you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though, because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down, or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
You cannot run the same game you ran on the simp-ass generation before us. Our uncles and daddy them were suckers.
See that right there? That's why women want us to be so-called traditional. Where the traditional man at? Where the traditional man at? They mean where the man is going to put up with me whining, don't want to fit, not giving you none for 2-3 weeks. Well, I don't want to make her mad. She already mad. Well, I want to make her more mad. What the is more mad? At this point, she put on a cape and be super mad. It's going to be the same. You see what I'm saying? That's what they mean. Where's the man that's going to put up with my BS and I can do whatever I want? It's cheaper to keep her and all that stuff. See, that come from the old school. See, there was men that didn't put up with their stuff from their woman. But men have always been weak to have a woman. See, I find it's the same thing with working today. If men back then had stood up to supervisors and stuff like that, we wouldn't have the problem we have today at work, which is supervisors thinking they could talk crazy to you and stuff like that. If y'all had stood up back then, see, we praise a lot the old generation because they just put their head down and went to work and didn't complain. Well, you put your head in the sand, you losing. Now, when the young folks is kicking up dust, y'all complaining too much. No, we trying to do what y'all punk ass didn't do back in the day with women, with jobs, with opportunities. We trying to make a way because y'all didn't do it. We trying to have something. We're trying to make an example for men that's coming up after us, right? That's all we're doing. If y'all had did it back then, you know, and everybody's daddy and uncle wasn't like that. My mama didn't run my dad or nothing like that, but it's like that. You know what I mean?
You want a traditional man, you would have to show me a traditional woman. And those don't exist anymore. You want to get grandmom treatment, but grandmom was low maintenance. That's another thing that they don't want to talk about. Grandma wasn't walking around with $700 bust downs. Grandma wasn't walking around with Birkins on. Grandma wasn't walking around with Louis Vuitton shoes that are only made for European women. So when you put your 190 frame on them, your feet are in pain. They only built for women that are 110 pounds. Grandma also didn't need trips to Turks and Caicos and everywhere. She didn't need any of that. Grandma was cool with you bringing the groceries home and with the bills being paid, which a lot of these modern day women would call the bare minimum, which is insanity to me because anybody that's paying all of the bills and bringing the groceries home, that's a maximum because you don't have to do it. So then we go a little bit deeper into it. Grandma never confused her role as being a woman.
What do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests.
There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola. You have to learn how to say no to a woman.
And you have these modern women out here that be talking tough. Oh, I don't want no man that says, he comes around and he says, do you have your half of the rent? And I don't want no woman talking about, can you send me some lunch money? I don't want no woman begging. I don't want no woman coming around talking about, I expect a man to completely and totally protect and provide. And then don't want to submit to protection. The protection that I provide, you call controlling. The provision that I provide, you call bare minimum. Living in a nice house. Living in a really good house. Really good home. Got a backyard. Y'all be buying yourselves homes that ain't have no yard at all. You be walking out the door, tripping on, falling onto the street. But the houses that some of these modern women be buying. Just be buying stuff to say they got a house. Oh, I got a house. That's not really a house. That's an apartment. Like you live in a 300 square foot home. Is that really even in a house? But they be mad when a man say, okay, are you going to help on the bills? Because that's funny. They don't want to help on the bills, but then they want a man to help around the house, help wash these dishes, help raise the kids in terms of, well, you got to know this, you got to know that. Basically know everything that I know. Basically do how I do. That's another thing. Modern women don't allow men to be fathers. You got to know everything that I know. What's the doctor's name? Well, what time is their appointment? I don't know, around 3. Oh, it's 3:30. Well, we showed up at 3. And then when I got there, they said 3:30. You said 3-ish, somewhere around there. I showed up there. So I don't have to know the exact time, just in the area. As long as I show up before time, I think I'll be okay. Well, you didn't stack the dishes how I wanted you to stack the dishes. Am I washing the dishes, or is it you that's washing the dishes? You got to put the plates like this. Either you're going to do it, or you're going to let him do it. And you're going to shut up about it. Period.
I really think it's worth talking about why ambitious women struggle finding ambitious men. And I've had conversations with friends about this. And when you ask men this question, a lot of them say the same thing. Because overly ambitious women tend to be in their masculine. They don't allow men to lead. They degrade men when they try. And essentially there's just no room for the man to be the man. And at first when I used to hear this, I used to genuinely be offended. Then I actually reflected and thought to myself, do I allow a man to be a man? Or not even just that, do I show a man that I even need him? Or do I allow my hyper independence to be my priority? I really think it's worth reflecting on.
I think one of the easiest ways to see how much men don't actually see women as people is to look at widowers.
Right. Let's do that. Because after all, that would make perfect sense. Take the behaviors and possible feelings of a small portion of the population and then come to the reasonable conclusion that the majority of the population must share in those behaviors and possible feelings. Okay.
Like, do you know how fast those men remarry just to have another warm body in their bed and someone making warm meals for them? Do you know how fast they will find another woman to parent their own children because they need a mother?
Does a person understand even how utterly ridiculous this sounds? Because unbeknownst to them, apparently, many men who unfortunately lose their wives to an unfortunate circumstance often choose not to remarry. So they are taking an even smaller portion of an already small portion of an entire population and using it to judge the rest of that population.
It doesn't matter that they are that child's actual parent, and it doesn't matter if the woman they find is not that kid's actual mother, because it's all the same to them, because women mother.
They're really trying, aren't they?
as long as that woman is a woman. It doesn't matter if she's actually that child's mother, as long as she's a woman. Do you see how diabolical that is?
Diabolical? Oh, I know what's really diabolical here. And it's the fact that in order to try to push a certain narrative, someone is leaving out a lot of statistical information that is freely available on this subject. Because while it is true that widowers are more likely to remarry as compared to widows within the first year, the percentage of widowers who choose to do so is only about 25 to 30% of widowers. And in fact, a lot of men, although they may enter into a relationship more often than women do after the loss of a spouse, it's about 75 to 80% of men will actually remain unpartnered. I wonder why they left out that very critical piece of information.
Say that again? What did you say?
Why would I want to be with a bum?
How come no man in this room has ever said that about a girl they dated? Because you're all gold-digging skanks. We're romantic. We'll take a bum McDonald's worker. You couldn't do that. No woman's ever done that. You guys date up, we date down. That means every ex-boyfriend you've had was better than you. That's why you let him hit it. Because you guys date up. So you f***ed up a lot. Could you marry a Burger King employee?
I won't do that.
Could any girl here do it? Has any girl in history ever done it? You're all dirty gold diggers. Admit your skin. And you know what's funny? That's the point. You abandoned him. Why did you abandon him?
I need someone financially at my level
A leader.
or higher.
But what if you're married?
But
A leader.
how come the men here don't mind if she's a bum? Because we're the romantic gender and you guys are of the devil.
I got a bone to pick with y'all men.
No, you don't. You just got your hair done and you feeling yourself. But it's okay. We're going to entertain it. Your discretion is advised.
Why is it that y'all like to throw out compliments to women, telling them how beautiful they are and how you like the way they look and blah, 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 blah. But you don't ask for their number.
To put it plain and simple, a compliment means nothing to a woman that gets them on a regular nowadays. It only holds value if it's attached to some kind of dollar amount, and I don't understand why. This isn't the early 2000s where you can compliment a woman and she truly appreciate it and be okay with you starting a conversation. Or we understand that getting this woman's number is going to come with some kind of bills eventually. Let's say you get that number, you hit her up the next day, magically she's going to be short $500 for her rent. And now she's expecting you to come out of pocket for it. And keep in mind, those compliments you was giving her didn't end when you first met her. They continue out through the conversation that y'all was having. And as soon as you disregard that $500 request, now you broke. You ain't shit. Now all those compliments become a weapon for her to use against you because you didn't want to give her $500 of your own money. It sounds a little something like, oh, you like me, you think I'm beautiful, you think you want to be with me, but you don't want to pay my bills? Something like that.
Like, can you tell me why that is? You just want to be nice, throw out a compliment today, or you're scared? Which one is it?
It's definitely not men being scared. Contrary to popular belief, most men are not afraid of rejection. But the fact still remains, the art of getting a woman's number is not what it used to be. And I am wise enough to understand that this is not every woman, and I believe there are some women still out there that are willing to have a conversation with a man that compliments them. However, there are enough breezies screaming from the rooftops saying, my number costs $500 out the gate. Hey, I did a video on this very app where a woman told a young man it was $20 just to speak to her, let alone get her number. But besides all of that, there are generally men that just want to give a compliment. They thought you looked nice in the moment, and they just wanted to let you know. It's a healthy way to push back positivity into our dating ecosystem. Every compliment does not come with a motive. Some are just genuine compliments. And I think as people, we need to do a better job at normalizing compliments and making them go back to what they used to be for us. But you know what? Knowing y'all ain't gonna listen to what I'm saying. I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
So are you saying that a woman needs to be completely submissive?
Yeah.
What if the man cannot create the environment for a woman to be submissive? I feel like that's the man's role. And if the man can't, make that environment, a woman's not going to be submissive.
Did you already have sex with this man?
Sure, but this doesn't foster submission.
Well, sex will be the most ultimate form of submission for women. There's not a higher form of submission because in the act of sex, you are submitting your body and your will to this other individual. So if you're already doing the most highest form of submission, why wouldn't you do a lesser form of submitting, which is listening to your man and being in complete compliance to him?
What is
wrong with modern dating nowadays?
Okay. So guys think that they don't have to like put effort or win women over. They just kind of expect they like, traditional men, they would take you out on dates and, ask your parents out. But now it's just like, yo, you up?
Literally, they don't want to pay for anything. Like, excuse me? I agreed to go out with you.
Broken. Same thing they said. Like, they just don't want to be like men anymore. I feel like men used to like build walls and like do shit. Like they used to go to war. Like,
Look at all these men down here. Like, do you think that they're like gonna treat a woman right? No.
What common mistakes do you think some women make when it comes to relationships?
I think the biggest mistake, and I know I'm guilty of this as well, is we don't communicate our needs and we expect them to predict it. So what I mean by this is, say for example, we want to see somebody more often. We will say, I'm not going to ask him, I'm not going to say it because he should just know. If he wanted to, he would. But the reality is, when we don't communicate our needs, we teach people the wrong way to love us. If you're late every time you pick me up and I don't say anything in that process because I don't want to look needy or I don't want to look clingy or anything like that, I'm teaching you it's okay to do that.
I just don't like the way you talk to women sometimes. Like there was one girl on the podcast, she was like low key, and you're like, okay, low key next. Just like dismissing her. I don't know.
It sounds like it doesn't take much at all to trigger you. Like, how do you get through life on a daily basis?
I'm actually an empowered woman now, and I actually don't accept people talking to me like that, and I don't like seeing women treated like that either.
But what if you're just being a... Shouldn't people talk to you like that? Like, honestly.
I mean,
like, what if you're
everybody
just
has...
being an absolute... And then someone's like, hey, why not just stop being a bitch and shut the fuck up? Like, aren't they justified in doing that?
I guess if they want to, definitely they have the right. This is a free country.
No, I'm not even talking about, like, they have the right to do it. Sure, they have the right to do it. But is it really being an asshole if you're being a should someone say, shut up, you fucking... Like, isn't that reasonable and rational?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Why are so many men refusing to get married? This is an interesting question. And I don't know if men actually are refusing to get married or not, but it could be a few things. It could be that there's misconceptions about what marriage is. We hear a lot about who benefits from marriage. Is there a benefit to marriage? We hear a lot about men who are taken advantage of in the divorce process or feel like they lost something. I also think there's this mindset where you're with someone, but you're wondering if something better is out there. So why would you commit to marriage if you're worried you're going to miss out on something better? What I would say to women in that situation is, if your partner doesn't want to marry you and you want to get married, leave, break up. That's going to end with you guys breaking up anyway. And if you're a single man who never wants to get married, let us know why. We're really curious.
And there was a guy saying, modern women want a man to put up with their BS. And once again, we don't even have to guess. We don't have to guess about what they want because they're going to tell us. They're going to tell us exactly what they want. We don't have to read between the lines. Oh man, is that sound? No, it don't sound like anything. It sounds like what she said exactly coming out of her mouth. That's what it sounds like. I want a man that's not insecure. What do you mean by that? Well, he lets me do whatever I want. He lets me wear whatever I want. He lets me go wherever I want. You're not going to have to guess. They're going to tell you exactly what they mean. I want to be on my worst behavior, but I want a man. I need the strength of a man. I need the protection of a man, right? That would be an added bonus. If I can get that, I don't need it because I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man, but it would be an added bonus for me if I can get that. If I can get a man to, instead of me paying, he pays, I'm going to keep my money. That's going to be an added bonus for me. If I can get a man, honestly and truly, if I can get a man, I don't really want a man that's making 50 to 70,000 because that's not going to look good for my brand. But if I can get a man bare minimum, like 90 to about 100 bare minimum, then I can show him off to my girls, because we're all looking for high status men, right? And he can be like 5'11". We love a short king. That's what they're going to say. He's 5'11". Short king. If I can get that and then offload the bills to him, that'd be great, right? And he can, I don't want him moving into my house unless it's a big house. But if he moves into my house, then I'm going to definitely make sure that I'm quote unquote protected and he can't take anything. But I would like him to have a bigger house than me. I can move into his house. They got the whole thing lined up.
donde entró yo. Sus grandes empresarios en la gigante, vamos a salvar una de
This is why you have to dog women out when you first start talking to them. When you give a woman everything, she'll leave you with nothing. My brother, welcome back to the streets. And it's a ruthless, ruthless environment. I'm gonna tell you that right now. These women, you don't bring flowers on the first date. It's a waste of time. When you're a true gentleman to a woman, she's gonna sabotage it. You're literally too good for her. So although you might be frustrated, she did you a huge favor. She knew that she was gonna waste your time. And that's just the reality of a lot of high value men in this dating market. These women aren't worth your time, your resources, or your loving gestures. So stop even trying to give it to them. Everything you see online when women say, oh, I want to be treated right, this is what happens when you treat them right. This is what happens. So many good men literally turn evil because of situations like this. And girls wonder, oh, why don't men respect women? Oh, why do guys act like dogs? Because the moment you do the right thing by a woman, I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and regret it. You're going to wish you was the worst version of yourself. This literally brings out the worst version of so many men. But you just have to realize and learn these women are not worth the effort. They're not like our mothers and grandmothers. All these loving things that we grew up seeing in TV and movies, it doesn't work with these type of women. They're toxic, brother. They say they want all these loving things and they go back and they do this. And then yet the same type of woman will still post on her social media story, oh, I want a man to treat me like this, treat me like that. The moment you treat them well, it ends poorly. Every single time. So my brother, just get back out here, do your thing. Don't worry about these women, bro. I'm telling you, put them through the ringer, every single one. Let this be a learning moment moving forward. She needs to earn those gestures. We don't need to give them anything up front. It's trust fund baddies only, pour no more.
Because men have morals and women do not.
Have a better relationship with their mother.
No, it's not because you have a better relationship. Well, Marquette, how did you know that she told her mother she engaged in a filthy, disgusting act, but she didn't tell her father? Why is that? No, it's not because you have a better relationship. It's because men have morals and women do not.
No,
that's
why.
That's why.
Definitely not.
And you knew that your mother, similar to yourself, would say, oh, well, it's okay. And your father would be disgusted because it's evil, filthy, and wicked.
The man that I am married to, Senator Vincent Hughes, 7th Senatorial District of Philadelphia, he has his own life. I have my own life. He has his own real career. I have my own real career. He has his light to stand in. I have my light to stand in. So he is not looking at me thinking about status or this or that. He's doing his thing. I get to do my thing. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good. Perfect. I get to be the real good wife.
So they took courage, loyalty, strength, traits men have had for thousands of years, and called it toxic. 55% of Americans now think traditional masculinity is harmful. 70% of men feel judged for just being men. A gym teacher got reported for telling a kid to toughen up after dodgeball. We're not fixing masculinity, we're erasing it. And then wondering why boys don't know who they're supposed to be.
Yep, and it's women like you. That's it. You know how when you told us you didn't need us anymore, told us you could do anything that a man can do, told us the patriarchy needed to, and that you expected, make that demanded to be treated exactly the same as men. Funny how quickly that all disappeared when you wanted a place to sit down. You all spewed your hate and garbage for decades now, ladies, and now you're gonna pay the price for doing so. Not just now, but for years to come.
Men, beware of your wife's single friends. Men, listen up. Your wife's single friends, they will sabotage your marriage if you let it. They sneak in, they whisper, and they poison. Before you know it, your marriage is breaking down. And you think I'm exaggerating and I'm doing this for likes? No, here are some facts. Studies show that divorce spreads like a virus through social networks. If a friend gets divorced, your odds of divorcing jump up to 75%. Let me repeat, your odds of divorcing jump 75% if her bestie gets divorced. Drill this into your brain. Single women are keeping women single. Peer influence is real. She will prioritize her bestie's feelings over yours, especially if her crew is full of divorcees. They're not healing. They're recruiting. Girl, you deserve better. Girl, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that to you. Oh my goodness, he is so controlling. Sound familiar? Friends, divorces make divorce seem normal and less stigmatized. Divorcees get together, pulling each other down. They don't care about your kids, your mortgage, or your future. They want her single, swiping, and miserable with them. Protect your marriage, my dudes. Vet those friends ASAP. If her friends is single and salty, red flags. Cut them off or watch your wife join the divorce club. Divorce is contagious, so protect what is yours.
And to be completely honest, game never left. It's just that a lot of men were dumb enough to fall for it when men started to say, oh, game is lame, guys. But every time men get on the internet and start moaning, talking about, oh, if a girl really liked you, she wouldn't care how you treated her. I always say, I literally know 0 players that are not kind and affectionate and loving to their girls. Like, they have multiple girlfriends who usually know that they're seeing multiple people because they refuse to commit. They usually have multiple girls in love with them because the number of men who are thoughtful, sweet, and affectionate is so scarce that they're willing to share. Playboys or dogs, whatever you want to call them, they're not rolling up on women with like, hey, yo, they are 100% affectionate. They're not maybe committed. They're maybe not even consistent, but they could sweet talk the teeth out of your head. I have never cried over a man who started a conversation or a date with what a woman's place is and what he wants from me. But I have cried over men who rubbed my feet on the first date. But I have cried over men who used to stock their fridge with my favorite snacks and put on my favorite show the moment I walked in the door. Call it what you want, but men duped you motherfuckers by telling you that having game was being a simp.
The happiest wives, you know, are submissive, and the happiest husbands are dominant. And I'm going to explain why. Because there's only one relationship dynamic where a man and a woman actually thrive together, and it's the exact one that you've been programmed to hate. Look at the couples around you. Really look. The ones that are constantly fighting, those are the two people fighting over who has the power. Every decision is a negotiation, and every disagreement is a fight. There are two leaders locked in a power struggle, and their nervous systems don't get a single day off ever. But now, look at the calm couples, the ones that feel easy to be around, right? He leads, she trusts the lead. He decides, she follows. And before you scream oppression, let me educate you on what it actually is. It's specialization. He carries all of the weight, the direction, the protection, the decisions, everything. And she protects something that his strength can't touch. The soul of the home, the emotional energy, the softness, the sanctuary. He protects the house and she makes it a home. Take either one away and you don't get equality. You get two hands on one steering wheel and that car is going straight off the cliff. Here's the part that just flies over people's heads. Attraction follows polarity, period. Masculine and feminine are magnets. They attract because they're opposites, but make those poles identical, they repel. And that's how most of you become roommates with a mortgage. That's why so many equal partnership couples haven't even touched each other in months. They didn't lose love. They the polarity. So no, a thriving relationship isn't fixed in couples therapy. It's lived. He leads, she follows. Simple. Do you disagree with me? Or do you agree?
So I think some women might feel like men want to, they don't want them to be successful, right? I got my own money. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. How come a man won't respect my career? You know, and there was one woman talking about hyper independence and how it's ruining modern relationships. And, you know, you're out here, you know, being in your masculine because you're ambitious. I don't think it's the fact that you're ambitious and you're really driven. Some women, as well as some men, are just very, very driven. They want to get something done. That's a personality. That's just somebody's personality, right? That's who I am. And then you might see something on TV and you might be like, man, I really want that. How can I get that? Right? Women could do that if they're cooking. I want to be the best cook. They could do that if they're raising children. I want to be the best parent. You can be ambitious and driven in a lot of ways. I think it becomes a problem when you start competing with the man. You start saying, oh, whatever field that you're in, I'm better than you in that field. And then you start trying to come into his lane and trying to work yourself into his area and trying to dominate him. That's when a man is like, what are you doing? What are you even doing over here? Why are you not on your side? Oh, I can do this, this and that. You don't like me being ambitious. You don't like a strong woman. No, I don't like a woman that tries to dominate me and compete with me. You said you wanted a companion. You're acting like my rival right now. You're acting like an adversary. That's what Kevin Samuel was talking about when he said men want you to be cooperative, fit, feminine, and friendly. You're not friendly. Rivals are not friendly with each other. Adversaries, enemies are not friendly with each other. And whenever they are, they're trying to get some sort of information so they can destroy you.